Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. We are studying Paticca I always say that Paticca is a mind process. Mind process. It talks about the origin of suffering, and it also talks about cessation of suffering. Visuddhimagga mentioned Paticca as the wheel of life. Because of ignorance, karma formation arise. Because of karma formation, consciousness. Then mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, existence, birth and aging and death. So this is a circle of life. Circle of life. So last week we talked about ignorance, avijja. Ignorance means not knowing the Four Noble Truths, not knowing the original suffering. So therefore we are accumulating a lot of, the original suffering. So therefore we suffer. Second, okay, so now second link, karma formation, sankhara. Sometimes I think you need to know the Pali word. If you know the Pali word, much better. Sometimes you see karma formation. This is a different translation. Mostly, it is translated as a volitional formation. Volitional formation. Sometimes it is translated as a volitional activities. Volitional activities. Sankhara. Ajahn Sujato translate as a mental activities. Mental activities. Not here when we talk about 5 aggregate. 5 aggregate. So in the 5 aggregate, we also have a sankhara, right? The aggregate of sankhara. He translates as a mental activities. The mind start to do, a lot of things. So what I want to say is, here we use the word karma formation. Sometimes, Bhikkhu Bodhi translate karmic formation. Same, karmic formation. He used the word karmic as an adjective. So later I will explain the meaning of sankhara so that you know why we translate as a karma formation. Even Bhikkhu Bodhi, he has a different translation. In Samdha Nikaya, volitional formation. In Minyo Abhidhamma, he translates karmic formation. Actually, they are the same, only translation different. Depending on ignorance, avijja, karma formation arise. Karma formation. Karma formation are bodily, verbal, and mental activities. Then with the volition, chetana, which is motivated by ignorance and craving. So I think it is important to understand. Karma formation means bodily activities, verbal activities, and mental activities. Then with the volition, which is motivated by ignorance and craving. So here main thing is ignorance and craving. That's main thing. So Arahant and the Buddha, they no longer have ignorance and craving. So therefore, they do not have sankhara here. So their actions. So the Buddha also do with the body, with the mouth, with the mind, right? So the Buddha has bodily activity, verbal activities, and mental activities. But those activities are not called sankhara here, sankhara here. Because the Buddha and Arahant, they no longer have ignorance and craving. So therefore, I always say that even as a Buddhojana, as a worldlings, sometimes we do without ignorance and craving, right? When you meditate, there's no ignorance, there's no craving. So by that time, your activities, your actions cannot be called sankhara here. Sankhara has a different meaning, in different context. In the five aggregate, sankhara means 50 cetasikas. So we have a 52 cetasika, right? So we have to exclude vedana, feeling, and sanya, perception. So the rest led by chetana. It's called sankhara. But here, avijja pacha sankhara here means not cetasika. Not cetasika. Later you will understand. See, kusala and akusala chetas. Kusala and akusala chetas. Sometimes you may know that sabbe sankhara anicca. All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. All condition here, translation different. No? The same, Pali is the same, but translation different. Condition phenomena. Condition phenomena. But in that sense, in that context, sankhara means all the chetas, all the cetasika, and all the rupas. Because they are conditioned by many causes. So different meaning and different context, right? So basically you must understand that. Here, sankhara means kusala and akusala chetas. Later I will talk about it. Basically, sankhara means here, karma formation, we translate as a karma formation. It talk about bodily activities, verbal and mental activities. Done with the chetana, which is motivated by ignorance and craving. This is the main thing, You need to, if your actions are motivated with the ignorance and craving, then that's called sankhara, karma formation. So therefore the Buddha said that it is volition, chetana, bhikkhus, that I call karma. For having will or having motivated, one acts by body, speech, and mind. Sometimes we may do something accidentally without any motivation. That's not called karma. It's not called karma. If you do without motivation, without chetana, That's not called karma. Sometimes you may kill, small insect without any way or without any motivation. It's not called karma. In the Dhammapara commentary, you may know that the story of Chakupala Thera. He is an arahant, and night time there's a heavy rain. So he get up in the early morning, he do walking meditation. But there are a lot of flies on his path. So he kills so many insects, flies. The many monks, because he's blind, he do not see. He's blind. Many monks blame him and accuse him. He accumulates a lot of demeritorious deed because he kills so many sentient beings. And the Buddha said that he is an arahant. He doesn't have any motivation to kill. So therefore, it's not akusala. It's not akusala. Okay. So this is a chetana. Chetana bhikkhave kammam vadami. Chete dva kammam karoti kayena vachaya manasa. So this is a well-known Pali in the Pali canon. Nibbedika Sutta. Sankhara means here the definition of sankhara in this context in Paticcasamuppada. Sankhara means making together, making well. You do something well. Motivated by ignorance, avijja, and craving, tanha, sankhara, so that means volition. Here we take volition. Sankhara actively involve making reaction to the object that see, that hear, that taste, that smell, and that touch, that think. Making reaction to the object, right? After seeing something, you feel angry, right? Because sankhara make reaction to the object that you see, Then after hearing music, your mind is drawn to that, right? Attached to that. Because you create, sankhara, karma formation. So that action is motivated by ignorance and craving. That's called sankhara. Motivated by ignorance and craving, sankhara actively involve making reaction to the object altogether. That's called sankhara. That you see, that you hear, etc. You want to become a deva next life. You want to go to heaven next life, right? Some people may have that idea, that wish. So that is a craving for existence in the heavenly realm. It is good, right? It's good when we look at bottom view. But it is not good when we look at from top-down view. According to Paticcasamuppada, because of craving for existence in the heavenly realm, you do a lot of good karma, a lot of good deed, right? That's called sankhara. Because of that sankhara, because of that karma, when you die, you go to heaven, right? So that is what that means. Making together, you make a lot of meritorious deed. That's making together. Sankhara. Together here, there's a Bhikkhu body translation. Actually, Sami, where, and Sankarami, doing. You do a lot of meritorious deed. How can I say that? Sami, Sankara. Karami, doing. You do a lot of meritorious deed. Not in serious way, serious way like that. Sankara. It motivates the associated mental factor to take action on the object, So therefore, Sankarami, action, mental, bodily, verbal, and mental actions. So because of craving and ignorance, based on ignorance and craving, you do bodily, verbal, and mental actions actively. That's called sankhara. So when you look at Vibhanga Sutta in Sutta Nikaya, Nidana Sanyutta, chapter 12, Sutta number 2, we will understand what is sankhara. Sankhara means 3 types. Number 1, the bodily volitional formation or karma formation. Number 2, so that number 1 means the bodily volitional formation means bodily volitional activities, your activities motivated by ignorance and craving. So you want to be born as a deva next life. So that is a craving. That's a craving. So that craving arises because of ignorance. Because you do not know. You think that if you be born as a deva, it's good. But of course, it is good when we look at from bottom of view. But when we look at top view, it's not good. Any existence is not good, because impermanence, right? Impermanent. The Buddha said that what is impermanent is suffering. What is impermanent is suffering. This body is not good because it is impermanent. Right? The body in the heavenly realm is not good because it is impermanent. The body in the Brahma realm, the Brahma is highest, right? Highest realm in the Buddhist cosmology. So the lifespan is very long, billions of years, So the life is very peaceful. So when we look at from top view, it's good, excellent, right? Excellent, compared to human existence. But when we look at from teachings of the Buddha, Paticcasamuppada is not good. So the life of a Brahma is impermanent. Which is impermanent is suffering. The Buddha said that. Nadalakana Sutta and many other sutta as well. The Buddha said that. So you do not know the life for a deva is impermanent. You do not know. That's ignorance. Because of that ignorance, you crave for it. Because of that craving, you create a lot of karma. Good karma, right? Good karma. You see, sankhara. You do with the body. So that is the bodily volitional formation. Then you do with the vave actions. The vave volitional formation. The mental volitional formation. You do a lot of meritorious deed to go to heaven. With the body, with the mouth, with the mind. So therefore, later I will talk about it. with a different level of craving, right? Different level of craving. Craving for killing or craving for stealing is not good, right? Not good. Craving for going to heaven is good, right? Then craving to have a lot of money is good, right? It's good. If you have a lot of money, you can do a lot of things. But this is another level, right? As long as you're not breaking sila, craving for money, craving for possession, stay okay, right? Stay okay. Craving for going to heaven, going to Brahmaram, stay okay, right? Stay okay. But when we look at from the Torah view, the Nibbana point of view, any craving is not good. So we have to understand it that way, right? We have to understand it that way. So therefore, Venerable Ananda said that depending on craving, we have to remove craving. He gave example of a monk. A monk want to attain enlightenment. He have a craving for enlightenment. He heard that one of the venerable living in certain place attain enlightenment, become an arahant. And he also want to become like him, craving for enlightenment, craving for becoming an arahant. That he make a lot of effort, practice meditation. So ultimately he became an arahant. He himself became an arahant. So the moment he became an arahant, he automatically removed any type of craving. So therefore, we need to understand different level of craving, because if we always say that, we have to look at the audience, right? We have to look at the audience. What kind of audience you are, right? So therefore, teaching in the Chugwinyu hall and teaching in the Shrine hall is different, has to be different. Otherwise, So therefore, we have to look at the audience. The Buddha also did the same thing, the same thing. Now he said that when you do dana, when you observe sila, you can go to heaven. To the audience, which has a less, level of wisdom, less level of parami, right? Parami, perfection. But the Buddha may say to the monks, don't crave for having any existence. Don't crave for going to heaven. Don't crave for going to Brahmaram. Samsara is really dangerous. We have been going through samsara for a long, long time. Should be, how to say, Nibbindati in English is how can I say, Nibbindati in Pali. Nibbindati means Nibbindati. No longer, you should be no longer be happy, for that, like that. That revision, revive. Need to revive. There should be a revision to live in samsara, right? Samsara like that. Nibbindati. So different level, right? Different level. Here, later you have to learn. Three type of. This is the easiest way to know what is sankhara, right? Bodily activities, bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions motivated by ignorance and craving. So here, we must understand, if sometimes we may do something without any ignorance, without any craving. We cannot call sankhara, right? We cannot call karma. So another three type of sankhara in Parivimarsaka Sutta, Nidana Sanyutta, chapter Sutta number 51. So that Sutta mentioned the traditional interpretation of three type of sankhara. Traditional interpretation. Traditional interpretation means interpret by Venerable Buddhaghosa in Visuddhimagga. So nowadays we follow Visuddhimagga. So usually these are the reference if you want to know. Visuddhimagga, chapter, what is it? Chapter 50, right? Chapter 70. Chapter 70, paragraph number 60 to 64. Visuddhimagga. Sometime when I talk about meditation, I will give you the reference pages in Visuddhimagga. No, not pages, paragraph number. Chapter and paragraph number. Then after you learn, if you go and study Visuddhimagga, easy for you. Easy for you. But reading by yourself, really boring. not easy to understand. Because somebody asked me to teach Visuddhimagga. Because it's very heavy. Maybe one day I may teach online. I may teach online. So maybe those who want to know how to say the Sila Samadhi Panya in details, you can learn. Maybe in the future I will talk about it online. It's very heavy, but anyway, those who are serious, it's good to learn. So Visuddhimagga is the manual of Buddhism. They use the word what is encyclopedia Buddhism. No, not encyclopedia. I forgot the word. Maybe manual teachings of the Buddha, but because it talk about Sila Samadhi Panya. Sila Samadhi Panya. Okay, so we follow Visuddhimagga interpretation, three type of sankhara, which is mentioned in Parivimarsaka Sutta. So, number one, meritorious karma formation, Punyabi sankhara, meritorious, good deed, good deed. So the Buddha said that, bhikkhus, if a person in mass, in ignorance, generates a meritorious volitional formation, consciousness fares on to the meritorious. So here I highlighted the word ignorance. Ignorance means not knowing suffering, not knowing the original suffering, not knowing the cessation of suffering, not knowing the way that leads to cessation of suffering. Ignorance. Bhikkhus, if a person immersed in ignorance, that means you do something with the ignorance, generates a meritorious volitional formation, good deed, good deed. So that consciousness fare on to the meritorious. That's the example of going to heaven, right? Going to heaven and going to the Rupa Brahmaram, Rupa Brahmaram. You do not know that you think that going to heaven is good. You don't need to cook. You don't need to walk. Just enjoying sensual pleasures, right? You think that it is good, right? So because of that, you want to go to heaven. I have one devotee. He told me he just want to go to heaven. Just send me heaven. He told me, just send me heaven. So I need to teach him. Heavenly realm also impermanent, suffering. Suffering. So that means somebody who do meritorious deed, good deed, just to go to heaven, thinking that heavenly life is good, right? It's good. So that is called meritorious karma formation. Meritorious karma formation. So here, what is meritorious karma formation? Punyabi Sankhara. The volitions in the 8 great Kusala Chaitas. In the Abhidhamma, we have 8 great wholesome Chaitas. Mahakusala Chaita in Pali. If you do not know Abhidhamma, it's still okay. No? Don't take it seriously. Just know it, good deed. No? Just know it, good deed. So Visuddhimagga and commentaries, they trying to identify which is Punyabi Sankhara. The 8 great Kusala Chaitas, in other words, Mahakusala Chaitas, in the 5, and also in the 5 Rupa Kusala Jhana Chaitas. 5 Rupa Kusala Jhana Chaitas are called meritorious volition and formations. Kusala Chaitas, Kusala Chaitas. 8 and 5. Altogether, how many? 8 and 5 altogether? 30, right? 30. That's called meritorious karma formation. In the Sutta, the Buddha didn't mention anything, just meritorious karma formation. But Visuddhimagga identified Punyabi Sankhara as 8 great wholesome Chaitas and 5 Rupa Kusala Jhana Chaitas. Meritorious volition and formation. The number 2, demeritorious karma formation. Akusala karma. Akusala karma. Apunyabi Sankhara. If, actually I will not quote what the Buddha taught, the same thing, right? The same thing. If he generates a demeritorious volition and formation, consciousness fare on to the demeritorious. So the Buddha talk about the same thing. Somebody who do akusala chaitas, bad deed, based on ignorance. So his consciousness will go to demeritorious places, like 4 awful states, right? 4 awful states. So regarding with akusala always based on ignorance, right? So Arahant and the Buddha and Pachika Buddha, they no longer do any type of akusala chaitas, akusala karma, because they no longer have any ignorance. Even Anagami, non-returner, stay do akusala, unwholesome karma. Because he think that living with jhana, rupa and arupa jhana, is good. And going to Brahma Ram is good. Right? He still have attachment to the rupa and arupa jhana and rupa and arupa existences. So because of that, he create kusala karma that produce a rebirth in rupa and arupa Brahma Ram. Right? But he doesn't know. He have ignorance that rupa and arupa jhana, rupa and arupa existences are also impermanent. Therefore, suffering. So based on that ignorance, he create rupa and arupa kusala, akusala, right? Kusala. So therefore, even anagami, non-returner, they have ignorance and craving, craving. So here, akusala, somebody who do akusala cheta, definitely he has the ignorance and craving, right? Because of that, he do akusala karma. Demeritorious karma formation. But according to Visuddhimagga, the violation, so here, demeritorious karma formation means the violation in 12 akusala chetas. Akusala chetas. Those who do not understand Abhidhamma, don't worry, don't feel, how to say, how can I say, discouraged. Thank you, I have to find correct usage, otherwise, but she has been learning with me for a long time. He know my mind, he know my mind, what to, sometimes, right, it's a Nibbindati is very difficult word, to translate, Nibbindati in Pali. Yeah, don't feel discouraged because even you don't know Abhidhamma, stay okay, stay okay. The number 3, 25Apr karma formation. 25Apr karma formation. Uninterrupted sankhara. Unshakable karma formation. If he generates, actually it's not what the Buddha taught, I'm just trying to summarize the suttas. If he generates an imperturbable volitional formation, consciousness fare on to the imperturbable. So that means after doing imperturbable or unshakable kusala karma, you will go to the imperturbable or unshakable realms. So that is the volitions in the 4 wholesome immaterial jhana chetas. 4 arupa kusala chetas. Arupa kusala chetas in Abhidhamma. So it's called imperturbable volitional formation. So it is imperturbable because it is far away from hindrances, nivarana. Somebody who attains arupa jhana chetas, he is far away from 5 hindrances, very far. Because arupa jhana cheta is attainable through rupa jhana chetas. So you have to go through rupa jhana chetas, then go to arupa. Even you attain the first jhana, the first rupa jhana cheta, you are away from 5 hindrances. If you go to arupa jhana cheta, very far away from hindrances. 5 hindrances make you shake your mind. Suppose while you are learning the Dhamma, listening to the teachings of the Buddha, your mind is going away. So that means your mind is full of 5 hindrances. So therefore your mind is shaking. While you are learning here, your mind, you don't have 5 hindrances. So therefore you can concentrate on my teaching. Your mind is not shaking, right? Not shaking. Similarly here, when somebody attains arupa jhana chetas, his mind is unshakable, very stable. In Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha, I think Mahaparinibbana Sutta, yes. The Buddha said that if you attain arupa jhana, if you are within the arupa jhana, not even the normal people, you will not notice anything. You will not hear thunder, thundering, You will not hear the noises around you. Even somebody touch you, you will not notice. Even somebody put your body, you will not notice. Imperturbable, unshakable. because your mind is away from 5 hindrances. Your mind just concentrate on one object, ampatapape, right? So therefore, Arupa Brahma, the life for Arupa Brahmas are very, very long, you see, thousands of eons, The lifespan is very long, very long. According to science, our planet, lifespan of our planet is 4.5 billion, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, 4.5 billion years lifespan. Current our Earth planet. Very long, right? Very long. But according to Buddhist cosmology, we still have another Buddha. Another Buddha will appear in the world. Mitya, right? Arimitya will appear in the world. After appearance of the Mitya Buddha, there will be many lifespan, So the earth will stay alive, stay exist for a long time, according to Buddhist cosmology. It cannot be destroyed with the nuclear, according to Buddhist cosmology. Now, what I want to say is that the planet, billions of years, right? Long life. So, according to Buddhist cosmology, we cannot calculate how many years of lifespan, So as a Brahma, Arupa Brahma, so they live 100,000, or no, not 100,000, 2,000, so 20,000 lifespan of the planet, I would say the planet. 20,000, so many, right? So many. So the lifespan of this planet is one, as you consider as one. So 20,000 such one, such one. So that means because of their kusala, their jhana, the power of the jhana, so their lifespan is impartable and unshakable, very long, very long. Okay, here, impartable karma formation means 4 arupa jhana chetas. 4 arupa jhana kusala chetas. So that means, according to Abhidhamma, 12 akusala, 8 great mahakusala, and 5 rupa kusala and 4 arupa kusala. But we still have another 4. We call it 4 magga chetas. 4 magga chetas. Altogether, how many kusala chetas? 21, right? According to Abhidhamma, 21. So, in Paticcasamuppada, only 70 kusala chetas are called sankhara. But here, 4 magga cheta also called kusala cheta. But it is not called sankhara here. The volition of the 4 supra-mundane path consciousness, Lokottara magga chetas, are not included in the sankhara here in Paticcasamuppada because wisdom, panya, which is the opposite of ignorance, is predominant in those chetas. So Abhidhamma, we have 21 kusala chetas. So including 4 magga chetas. But in Paticcasamuppada, in arising formula, under the sankhara, 4 magga chetas are not counted because the moment we have 4 magga chetas, wisdom is predominant. So by that time, there's no ignorance. If there's no ignorance, there will be no craving. The moment you attain one of the Magga-chetas, there's no ignorance by that time. There's no craving by that time. So therefore, 4 Magga-chetas are not the original suffering. It is cessational suffering. Even though 4 Magga-chetas are Kusala chetas, so they are not counted under the Sankhara as a Sankhara in dependent origination. Because no ignorance, no craving. The moment you attain 4 Magga-chetas. Magga-chetas are, in other words, the path to enlightenment, right? The path to Nibbana. The path to Nibbana. They are enlightenment. They are called enlightenment. Dependent origination explains how the suffering is originated. 4 Magga-chetas destroy the original suffering. So therefore, and the 4 Magga-chetas are not counted as a Sankhara. And that's important to understand. I hope. Any question up to now? Any question? Because if you do not understand, we need to clarify. Any question? I forgot to ask question. Any question? Because going. Any question up to now? Okay, no question. I hope you understand. Actually, this is very, very difficult one, difficult one. So here, I think I will talk about important point according to Abhidhamma, according to dependent origination. Of course, according to Abhidhamma. Because in one sutta, the Buddha said that he is Kammavari. He is a Kammavari. He is a Kriyavari. Kamma and Kriya, the Buddha used together in the suttas, right? Kammavari means the speaker of the Kamma action, The Buddha talk about Kusala, Akusala, Kamma, and they are result, right? They are result. And the Buddha also said that I am Kriyavari. Kriya also the same meaning, action. Kamma and Kriya are the same meaning. They have the same meaning. It's called action. So we have 3 types of Kamma: bodily Kamma, Bhava Kamma, and mental Kamma, right? Similarly, 3 types of Kriya. Here the word Kriya. 3 types of Kriya: bodily Kriya, Bhava Kriya, and mental Kriya. So that means the word Kamma and the word Kriya are the same, according to the suttas. According to the suttas. But according to Abhidhamma, it's different. Abhidhamma trying to distinguish Kamma and Kriya in different way. So in other words, the word Kriya is a technical term in Abhidhamma. What is Kriya, according to Abhidhamma? The activities of the Buddhas and Arahants are not regarded as a Sankhara, in other words, not regarded as Kamma, because they have eradicated ignorance, avijja, and craving. The mental state that cause the activities of the Buddha Vichika, Buddha, and Arahants are therefore called Kriya Cheta, functional consciousness. Function, the word function and actions are the same, right? Functioning, acting, they are the same. But Abhidhamma trying to make it different. Abhidhamma trying to say that the activities of Arahant and the Buddha is called Kriya, action. So actually, the actions of the Buddha, Vichika, Buddha, and Arahant, so they do bodily, verbally, and mentally without ignorance and craving. Even though they may blame you, but there's no hatred, there's no anger in their mind. They may blame you, The Buddha also blamed to Venerable Devadatta, but there's no anger in his mind. The Buddha may request to somebody to do something for him, but without lobha, without greed, right? Without craving. So therefore, their actions are called kriya, functional consciousness, functional activities. Functional activities. As Arahants and Vichika Buddhas and the Buddha do not have ignorance and craving, so their activities are not considered as karma or karma formation. Right? So the main thing is not having ignorance and craving. They do. Because of that, their actions are called kriya. So here, this is a main point. In divine origination, with the remainder fading away and cessation of ignorance and cessation of craving comes cessation of volitional formation. In other words, karma formation. If somebody do without ignorance and craving, so his karma formation will be extinguished, will be ceased. So that's the main point. That's the main point. So here, this is my argument. So, according to Abhidhamma, except five-door adverting consciousness and mind-door adverting consciousness, two chetas. So the rest of the 80 functional consciousness arise only in Arahants, Vichika, Buddha, and Buddhas. So in Abhidhamma, we have 20 Kriya Chetas. Among them, only 2 Cheta arise to everybody. So here, 5-door adverting. When you see something, the door open. When you think something, mind door open, mind door adverting. Only 2 Cheta arise to everybody, even to Puthojana. So the rest of the 80 Kriya Cheta arise only in Arahants, Vichika, Buddha, and Arahant, the Buddha, according to Abhidhamma. The main reason is the absence of ignorance and craving in their mind. Because Vichika Buddha, the Buddha, and Arahant, they do anything without ignorance and craving. So therefore, their actions are not called karma. So their actions are called kriya. But in the Sutta, kriya and karma are the same meaning, just doing something, right? Functioning something. Abhidhamma make it different. So here is my argument. If the worldlings, Puthojana, or trainees, that means Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, if Puthojana and trainees perform some activities without ignorance and craving, is it possible to call their mind as a functional consciousness or Kriya Cheta? sometimes we do without ignorance and craving, right? Can we call it functional consciousness, Kriya Chaita?
We haven't reached the status.
If we are mindful, sati, and clearly comprehending in our activities, there is no chance for ignorance and craving to arise. Sometimes we do mindfully, we clearly comprehend. Then our activity cannot be called, there's no chance for ignorance and craving in our activities when we are meditating like that, right? Like that. If there is no ignorance and craving, karma will not be formed. So that means there is no karma formation. Karma will not be formed, or sankhara will not arise. If there is no ignorance and craving in Puthojana, in the minds of Puthojana, in the minds of trainees. If such mental state arise in orderlies and trainees, we can call them as a functional consciousness or Kriya Chaita. At least we can label them as a pseudo-functional consciousness, which is very similar to functional consciousness, right? Functional consciousness. That's my argument. I will give you one example, clear example. Suppose your friend got into trouble. So he asks financial assistance to you. You have a compassion to your friend. Compassion, Then you help him without any expectation. Based on compassion, you help him. So later, your friend became financially, his problem is solved, and he became richer than you. But he forgot to pay your money. You help him without any expectation, based on compassion, right? Based on compassion. You know that. It is good to help him, good to help a friend, without any expectation. Even though he forgot to pay you back, you don't have any problem in your mind, right? You don't have any mental problem. You don't have any anger or frustration in your mind. You do it based on compassion, right? You do it based on compassion. You do it with understanding. It's good to help somebody who got into trouble, That's one scenario, Another scenario. Your friend asks you to help, thinking that one day you will get back. So I will help him. One day he will return. He must return, You told him, when you are okay, give it to me, right? Give it to me. Then you help with the expectation. Because of that, so later your friend did not return, did not give you back. What will happen? Frustration, anger, will arise. Why you do not give my money back, right? So that means if you do something based on ignorance, based on craving, then the original suffering, the original suffering. Maybe that one is not very clear. I will give you another clear example. So you go to a poor country, you see a poor guy is asking for food. So as soon as you saw such a suffering guy, compassion arise. So based on compassion, you give it to him. Right? So that's one scenario. Then later, without any investigating, without any thorough investigating, without using your wisdom, you give it to him. Then later, that the same guy is asking for food to another person. What will happen? You feel angry, right? Because you already give it to him. Shouldn't ask for another food. You do that karma, of course based on compassion, but without any investigating, without any wisdom. Whether he is really genuine or really asking for food genuinely, or maybe asking for food. Like that, right? So if you do not use your wisdom or understanding, so that means ignorance, you suffer. Seeing that the same guy is asking for food, to another person. So therefore, when you do something based on ignorance or without using your wisdom, it is the original suffering. That's important. So there are many examples, right? So when you do something based on lobha, dosa, moha, then that will be the original suffering. Sometimes you help somebody expanding. Suppose you help you educate, and you educate your children, expecting that they will take care of you when you grow old, right? Educating your friend is good. Providing anything they need is good. But if you do without expectation, with the craving, the original suffering. When you grow old, they live with their family happily, without visiting you, Then by that time, you suffer, right? But when you educate, when you provide anything without expectation, thinking that so their life will be better, based on genuine compassion, right? Even though they will not look at you again when you grow old, even though they will forget, you will not suffer, You will not suffer. Because you did with a genuine compassion, without any expectation, right? That's an example of functional consciousness. Sometimes we do good deed to your parents, to your children, to your friend, based on ignorance and craving. That's called karma. It's still good, right? It's considered as a good deed, but that good deed, the original suffering. So you help your children, your parents, your friends with a genuine compassion. Even though they do not give any returns, no? There's no mental suffering in your mind, right? In your mind. So if you do some good deed without ignorance and craving, we can call it functional consciousness, Kriya Chaita, which is similar mind, similar minds with the Buddha and Arahant, right? The Buddha and Arahant. So that is a important concept. So when you do something without expectation, you will not suffer, right? You will not suffer. Okay, any question? Any question for now? So,
Good evening, Bante. With regards to the previous one, when we say the Magga Chitta, the Magga Chitta is not considered as part of Sankara.
yeah.
But then when I remembered that even the Sotapanna, Sakadagami and Anagami has not successfully eradicated the 10 of the whole 10 of hindrances, and the last one was avijja.
Yeah.
So how does it fit into this? Because that means they still did not eradicate the avijja, but then in this case it is not considered as a part of the Sankara. So
because here, the moment one of the four Magga Chaita arise, the moment. So at that particular moment, there's no ignorance. The wisdom is predominant. So therefore, at that particular moment, though their actions is not called karma or sankhara. After becoming Sotapanna, then he may enjoy sensual pleasures. He may listen to the music like that, right? He will have attachment to the food. Of course, by that time, his actions is called karma, sankhara. So here, four Magga Chaita, the moment they arise, only the moment they arise. After somebody somebody became Sotapanna, then after seeing somebody may have attachment, lobha, right? Craving. In those times, motivated by ignorance and craving. Yeah. Because we must understand that according to Abhidhamma, Magga Chaita, Magga Chaita arises in one moment only, right? One mind moment only. So at that particular moment, there's no craving, there's no ignorance, right? Okay. No question, okay? I got this idea because when I study Uposatha Sutta, the Buddha said that in Uposatha here full moon, new moon day, right? So the Buddha encouraged Visakha to observe 8 precepts, Uposatha day. And the Buddha said that Arahant do not care the whole life. After he became Arahant, he no longer care, no longer steal, no longer have sexual activities like that. So I was imitating an Arahant, so I will refrain from killing, stealing, and sexual activity like that, right? So imitating, the Buddha said, imitating anukarami, I will imitate Arahant. So that means, so when you observe 8 precepts, and the Uposatha day, and the full moon, new moon day, you became like an Arahant. You became like an Arahant the moment you observe. You're not eating dinner, you're not dance, you're not listening music, you're not applying any makeup or lipstick, etc. Right? You live like an Arahant. The Buddha used the word imitate, right? Imitate. So just like that, we can imitate the Buddha and Arahant. Sometimes we do good deed without any ignorance and craving, right? Without any ignorance and craving. So such mental state can be called Kriya Chaita, functional consciousness. I think that is a very important concept. Of course, it is not in accordance with the Abhidhamma. Okay, now we'll study next one, consciousness, vijnana. Maybe I think if you have a question, then we can maybe 1 or 2 questions. Because better not to go to next, the next link, because this is important. We should go in sequence. Maybe if you have a question, then we can kill times. Killing the time. Still have another 10 minutes. Questions related to Paticcasamuppada. No question. Oh. Paticcasamuppada. So here I will repeat Sankhara, the word Sankhara. Sankhara can be divided into 2, Sankhara. Kara means doing. San means doing well or doing, how to say, doing with the care, like that, right? Sankhara. Simply it is action. So we have among the 5 aggregate, we have a Sankhara Khanda, right? The aggregate of Sankhara. So that Sankhara is translated as a mental activity, mental volition, right? Mental formation. So Bhikkhu Sujato, he translated as a mental activities, which is very beautiful, mental actions. So according to, in that Sankharami, according to 50 Cetasika, it's a different meaning. Here, in Paticcasamuppada, Sankharami, 70 Kusala Cetas, right? Karma formation or volitional formation. 70 Kusala Cetas. Kusala and Akusala. Sorry, not 70. 70 Kusala Cetas and 12 Akusala Cetas. Altogether what? 29, right? Altogether 29. Sankhara here means 12 Akusala and 70 Kusala, mundane Kusala Cetas. But we also have another Sankhara which is quite often used. Sabbe Sankhara anicchati yatapanyaya pasati atthane bindati tokkhe esa maggo visuddhiya. Have you ever heard of that verse? You know, right? You know. Because it is mentioned in our chanting book, Maranasati chanting book. So in the chanting, we always recite that one. I think, I'm not quite sure in Thailand, in Sri Lanka and Burma, so we only use these three verses. No? Sabbe sankhara anicchati, sabbe sankhara dukkati, sabbe dhamma anattati, right? So here sankhara means conditioned phenomena. Conditioned sankhara means conditioned phenomena. Conditioned phenomena, because according to that, in that context, sankhara means all conditioned phenomena. That means all type of chetas, the mind, all type of rupa, the matter, are called sankhara. Any type of cheta, any type of chetasika, any type of rupas, or sankhara. Because they are impermanent. So they are conditioned by many causes. Sometimes, our body is conditioned by the weather, right? The weather. When the weather is very hot, this body is conditioned. This body changes, right? When the weather is very cold, same thing. Then when you take medicine, conditioned by medicine. When you eat the food, conditioned by the food, right? So that is your body and your mind. Mind also conditioned by many causes. Unconsciousness arises because of the eye and something you see, right? So they are the causes. So that means, according to, in that context, sankhara means all the chetas, including magga cheta, phala cheta, all the conditioned phenomena. That means all the chetasika and rupa are called sankhara. The same Pali word, but different meaning, right? Different meaning. Sankhara. All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. If you know that, that will be the path to Nibbana. The path to Nibbana. So we also have another sankhara in the Abhidhamma, sasankharika, asankharika. So we call it prounded and unprounded, right? Prounded and unprounded. So according to, in that context, sasankharika means sa-sankharika. Sankhara, so sankhara means viriya and volition. Only two. Viriya and chetana and effect, viriya. So different meaning, the same sankhara, but different meaning, right? So up to now, I remember only four. So here in Paticcasamuppada, it's conditioned by ignorance and craving, sankhara means 12 akusala cheta and 70 kusala chetas. Okay, now I'm clear all the time. Okay, I did better. Still have any question? One question if you want. Teacher Lily, you have an announcement? Any announcement? Oh, okay. No. Okay, let's call it a day. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho paragato palavidiya samangi tan sukatan saranatha mupemi raga vira masokan dhamma masangata patikulan madurami mampagunan suwipatan dhamma mimansaranathamupemi yatha chadena mahapalamahu Chattu sisu purisa yogesu attacha pogala dhammadasate sangami mansaranatha mupemi sadhu sadhu sadhu. Good night everyone.